your seats. The show will begin in 5,
4,
3, 2,
1.
Thursday night CrossFit talk with Scott Schweitzer and Jamie Latimer.
We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. Hickory, dock. Giving them all that we got. Kick them the door. Try to knock, but nobody answered. I'm going hard and taking my chances. I keep it moving. I keep advancing. Keeping it gangster.
What is going on, everybody? It's a new theme song. It's a new opening. And it's about us. So, pretty cool.
First time seeing that. Interesting. I loved the countdown. That was awesome.
Yeah. Because I noticed that, like, when I don't put a countdown in, like, it's depending on how this catches the stream, like, it will, it'll cut off the first part of it. So I'm trying to redo like all the openings so that it has a little bit of a countdown before we hit it, so that you're not losing whatever we're talking about at the beginning. So,
absolutely.
But I love the words of the song. So we've already got a bunch of people in the chat. We got Lex, we got Kat, we got Andrew, we got Kenneth. Kenneth popping in saying that there's a brand new trading card from Mint Trading Cards and Wad Zombie. And so it is, I guess I should have pulled it up. I just
play it.
I'm not a professional. Man. Let me try this one more time. So here we go. We'll share the screen, and there's a new trading card coming out from Wad Zombie. And my computer is slow. Here we go. So here it is.
It's pink.
Oh, and it's scented. I think it gives it a little something extra. Okay, well, see you next class.
Shut that music off before we get demonetized.
That's beautiful.
The new Christine Col Brander card out from Wad Zombie and Mint Trading Cards. Can't wait to get that one into the collection. So, and it's pink, and it's scented.
I know, I love that.
You know what's funny is my mom's favorite movie, the movie she turns on, if it's on, she stops, is Legally Blonde.
It's a cute movie.
Yeah. 78 years old, and that's her favorite movie.
I'm trying to think. You had Christine on. Did you? I'm trying to think if you asked her favorite color, but I don't feel like she's a pink person. I feel like she's like a pales, grays, neutrals type of girl.
So if you look at her artwork, it's very pastel-y and that like pinkish blue, aqua kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's her vibe.
Okay.
And if you have not seen her artwork, it's actually Junk headbands. Has a line for artwork that are the headbands. And it's really cool. It's very sketchy. Kat echoes. She is very girly.
Okay.
Yeah. I think her handguns are probably pink, and because I know her husband is doing the tactical games, and she's been training with him in some of those disciplines. And they have a house out in the middle of nowhere where they shoot and do different stuff like that too. So
yeah.
T. Kane says the card says a 280-pound clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think her clean and jerk is like 250. 260, something like that.
And her snatch is ridiculous. She's very strong.
230, I think I saw her do at MAC 2 years ago.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, she beat Barnhart, Tia, all at that MAC that year.
Mm-hmm.
She's super, super strong.
Mm-hmm.
So, a quick update. I know if you've been listening to us through the week, my wife is in Pennsylvania with her mother because she's having radiation for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They got a report yesterday that the tumor is shrinking in her tongue. So all signs are pointing to this working. Yesterday was the halfway point. So she has 6 more treatments to go. And then, and so just wanted to give that update because we've been talking about it all week. So wanted to give the good news part of that as well.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
So, there's been a little bit of news this week.
A little bit.
Little bit.
Not enough, but some.
Yeah. I do want to tease that we do have a trailer for the documentary that's coming out next week. And so we're going to play that during the show, but we're going to hold off just a little bit longer, see if we can get the crowd a little bit bigger. So it was announced this week, press release from the CrossFit Games, where it said that this is the first in a series of announcements that are to be coming.
Mm-hmm.
The first announcement being that the CrossFit Games will be in Fort Worth, Texas, hosted at the Dickies Arena. So in our show notes, I put a link to the arena and the exhibit space. Did you take a look at that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pull this up. It's actually beautiful. This is the exhibit arena. This is not even where they would be holding the event. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Let me try that one more time.
What, zombie?
Here we go. So, this is off to the side of the arena and underneath the plaza that's up above. And this is where I think you would have your vendor village.
Okay.
Right. It makes sense. In the description, it actually says that it can hold 400 10 by 10 booths.
Wow.
Now, some of those vendors would have a little bit bigger booths than 10 by 10 for sure.
Yes.
Rogue, whoever the title sponsor might be, Wit, a lot of those places have, 50 by 50. So I don't know what that the whole configuration, but that's natural light at the top. And that is ground level. So the exhibit hall is actually underground with that kind of up above where natural light can come in. If you look at the arena itself, while we're here, they don't have a whole lot of like pictures or things about the inside, but here are some numbers. I don't know if you can see that. The arena itself, the capacity, depending on the configuration, changes pretty drastically. So for the rodeo, it's 9,300. For family shows and hockey, it's 12,200. Basketball, 13,300. And concerts can be up to 14,000 people. That is much, much bigger than the Align Energy Center.
What did the Coliseum hold?
So I think in the configuration for the games, I think you're pushing it to say 7,000.
Okay.
And that's me going to a lot of different size arenas in my life. I think that's about where you were at. Because that end that's open where like they ran out for Helen, they had to take out all the seats down there. Right?
Yeah.
And my guess is this probably has more like boxes like private boxes that people can buy than the Align Energy Center did as well.
I think I saw 50.
50 private boxes.
What was that in there? I don't know where I saw that, but I saw them talking about.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my notes, where I have an aerial shot of downtown Fort Worth. So this is the arena. This doesn't really tell you much other than I just wanted to show all of these parking lots. You have this yellow lot, you have the south lot, and this Chevy garage holds 2,200 cars.
Okay.
So there's a lot of room for parking. But what you'll see when we go to like the Google aerial map is that there's not a lot of like green space or
No.
anything like that. So where is the red dot? I lost him. There it is. Okay. So the red dot is the arena. If you come due east or east.
Mm-hmm.
It's a botanical garden, which is not a park that you can like use for any kind of fitness activity. But then if you go a little bit up here, you start going into like a playground area and Trinity Park. So you could do some stuff. And then there is like up here, Trinity Trails, I think. Somewhere in this area is Trinity Trails. And then there are boat docks along here where you can get into this river and do some water activity. The only other thing that looks usable in the space is this football stadium right here. And it looks like it is a Division II, Division III football team or a high school football field. And really that seems to be the only usable space in that area. So have you had any time to look at this at all, or?
I mean, I sort of looked through it. It just seems like I don't see a lot of outdoor opportunity. And that I don't love that. And I know a big complaint of moving to Texas is it's hot. And so then I guess, is it just inside? And I think that's kind of silly.
Yeah. I don't know. The other thing is I went to reserve hotel rooms yesterday and everything on this side of the river is pretty much booked right now.
Yep.
So there were no available rooms on this side of the river, period.
Yep.
Period. So where we had to go is, I'm trying to drag it and it won't go. Let me shrink. There we go. So we are right about here.
Okay.
So I have a couple rooms there, and yeah, so it's as the crow flies, it's like 2 miles. But I think to drive there, it's like 3.8 because you have to go actually out on this interstate, come off, and then to get across the river. It is not a Super 8, Kenneth. It is a Hampton Inn that I was able to get.
Oh, I'm sure CrossFit already blocked off several hotels before they even announced this, so that they had enough blocked.
Yeah, I hope that's why. Because my biggest fear going to Fort Worth is that we were going to face the same price gouging that we were getting in Madison, because I've been to Fort Worth a bunch of times. When I was with Advocare, their yearly brouhaha was held in Fort Worth every year. And the hotels would go up in price for us to go that week or weekend. And they were hard to find, very hard to find. And so that's what I'm guessing is going to happen with this. And in my opinion, it's not even as big as Madison.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to like associate the Dallas part of it, but Dallas is an hour away. It's like flying into Chicago and driving to Madison. Because O'Hare was on the north side of Chicago, and then it's like an hour and a half from there to Madison. You fly into Dallas Fort Worth Airport. Dallas is a full hour all the way over to Fort Worth. So can you imagine just the Uber?
No,
to get from Dallas to Fort Worth.
I think the hotels that, like the hotel you booked, is going to be a pain with Uber or whatever you have. I mean, we have to fly there, so we won't have a car. We either rent a car or get Ubers, and I think it's going to be a giant pain.
Andrew, I have made that ride no less than 8 times. It has never taken me 30 minutes. Never, ever, ever.
There's no speed limit.
Never. Everybody's trying to argue with me. I'm telling you, I've done it 8 times. It has been a full hour every time.
Let's see what Google Maps says. 43 minutes.
Yep.
I don't know.
Nick, you missed. We promoted the Christine Col Brander card right off the top of the show. I just want to know, is it really scented? I'd pay extra for scented.
It should be a scratch and sniff for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So we booked hotel rooms yesterday. So we have at least a couple. And it's really in the heart of like where all the he says it is scented.
Okay. Packaging movie.
Beauty. I may drive like an old man. I'm not even going to argue that point, but I've never driven it myself. I have been in an Uber or a cab every time, and never once did it take me 30 minutes. 45 on a good day, hour most times. So very cool.
Well, and they announced the dates, and it's the 8th through 11th, so Thursday to Sunday, which is what the individuals always perform.
Yeah, even when the age groups and adaptives went at the same time, they started on Wednesday and stopped on Saturday. Elites went Thursday to Sunday.
Right. So I think that's the early nail in the coffin for that announcement.
Yeah, I think that's one of the upcoming announcements. Is that age group and adaptive. I mean, I've heard it since before the games that was happening. The games just kind of went down that road a little bit more, and that's all we're hearing since from everybody that I'm talking to. The other thing that I find confusing to me is one of the things that have become a big treat for a good number of people is camping at the CrossFit Games. With all the activities and the campground and all of that stuff, there is no campground anywhere near Dickey's Arena.
Yeah, not that I can see.
So now are you, I guess because we just don't know what the goal of this is. Like we heard in the press conference, scalability, we heard be able to take it from place to place. But are you lopping off the community aspect of it, the festival feel of it in order to do so? And is that what it needs to be professionalized? That's why she's the best analyst in the business, people.
I can't analyze the reasoning behind the games. I don't know. We'll have to see this year play out and how they set up the floor, and like if there's any outdoor events. Like honestly, we have no idea what they're envisioning because we just haven't been given that much information. So, and I don't want to just poo-poo all over it. Like maybe it's wonderful. Maybe it does make it scalable and transferable. And I don't know. I can't fathom it. And so I feel like I have negative thoughts in my head and I don't want to just spew negative thoughts. So until I can see it and experience it, I'm just going to try to think for the best.
Yeah, I know there were a lot of negative thoughts about Madison. And truth be told, Madison wasn't a perfect venue. You know, they made it a really cool thing by building North Park, I think North Park was one of the best things they did, but Vendor Village being in a cow barn, it was never comfortable. It's super hot in there. There's no airflow. There's no air conditioning. Like it wasn't great, right?
Right.
Alliant Energy Center is not a state-of-the-art facility. The bathrooms were tiny. The seats were sometimes broken. You know, it's not a state-of-the-art facility. So I'm sure that's going to be upgraded. This place is 4 years old.
Yeah.
Like the Jumbotron in the middle, the pictures I've seen of that's going to be epic. It's going to be like a professional Jumbotron, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think there's going to be some good things with this, but what are we going to lose in the process?
Exactly.
I mean,
I never went to Carson Wadzami, so I can't comment on that.
Yeah, I never went to Carson either. So if anybody's been to both, please shout it out. Even the parking lot in Madison, like that, there's so many potholes. Your car got thrown all over the place, just pulling into the parking lot.
I liked that there was parking though. Like that was never a thought in my mind. Like if we don't get there an hour early, we're not going to be able to park. Like I wasn't worried. And it does seem like there's a lot of parking here, but I don't know.
Well, if that parking garage truly holds 2,200 cars, and then there are those other lots right beside it, like I think that's going to be way more than Madison had. Now, is it going to be free?
Well, that was my other, exactly. That was the other thing I liked about Madison. If you were driving, you just got there and were able to park and get in and not have to worry about parking passes, tickets, cash. Yeah. Wadzami, I totally agree. I saw the perfect comment in regards to the heat. If football players and band geeks can handle the heat, so can the fittest on earth. I agree. It needs to have some outdoor events. That's where we can't figure that out. with this venue. So I'm not saying like I guess it's fine if they want to try Texas and deal with the heat, that's fine. But if they're moving to Texas to move inside, I think that sucks.
I've got to think there's got to be a plan, whether it's an offsite. In Carson, the beach was not like right beside the venue, and it was an offsite event. It wasn't ticketed. People from the community could come watch it. You could go out on the pier. Like, if they do stuff like that, it would be really cool.
Yep.
Lex said that semifinals charge daily for parking and no in and out privileges.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we Ubered every day to Orlando. It was more economical to pay $8 for an Uber than $10 to park.
Exactly. See, I don't like that. I don't want to have to worry about stuff like that. I want to be able to leave and get back in. I don't want to worry about a spot paying twice. I don't know. That's just crazy.
I just look at it. That's the breaks of doing what we do. Like, if I was a fan, then I would probably care more about it. But as media, like, it's what I have to do, right? So if I have to pay to park, if I have to get an Uber, whatever it takes, it's just part of doing what we do.
Yeah, you got to think about the fan experience.
Well, probably as a fan, I'd think the same thing, right? If I'm investing, because Lord knows if they're not doing that many outdoor events, those indoor tickets are going to be pricey. And if I paid for that, then what's an $8 Uber? Judy asks, what's the closest university? TCU is like 3 miles away. It's on the west side of the city. And they were in the national championship game. It's a big university. That whole area of Fort Worth is purple. Their team colors are purple and white and black. It is a massive university. And so they have an indoor and outdoor swimming facility. They have a major Division I football stadium. So you could do some stuff over there as well. I'm sure that is not cheap. But I don't know what would happen with the swimming. Like, maybe the outdoor venue is cheaper than the indoor venue, like they did at University of Wisconsin. Yeah. Horned toads, horned frogs, whatever you want to. They go back and forth. Because I couldn't get hotel rooms downtown when I was there for Advocare. We stayed at TCU campus, a hotel on campus. So I was very familiar with that area of town. And they talk about the stockyards and the bulls and all that stuff down through the street. That is not even close to where we're at. Just that's like on the other side of Fort Worth. So if you're looking for that honky tonk, so are we good? We good on games for now until we know more?
Yeah.
All right. So do we want to do the trailer for the documentary that's coming out next week?
Let's do it.
It's about 4 minutes long. So hang out with us here for a second. Let me get it ready. I can't find my mouse. There we go. And here we go. The premiere of the trailer. Can you hear it? Welcome to Clydesdale Media's All Access at the 2023 No Bull CrossFit Games. All right. Let me figure this out. It should be playing. We had this happen last time, didn't we?
I don't know. I thought it played.
Okay, let's try.
yes, totally underwhelmed with the announcement. I felt like that was, I don't know. It should have been like a little, I don't even know, 1 minute movie clip that somebody put together of showing the arena, and I don't know. Yeah, more thought needed to be put into it.
Here we go. Let's try this. Welcome to Clydesdale Media's All Access at the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games. This year, we followed 9 athletes throughout the season. Sydney McAlishan, Carolyn Prevost, Logan Ewing, Jamie Latimer, Matt Poulin, and Elena Pomarisi. 3 athletes made it to the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games. Emily Rolfe, Rudy Berger, Kelly Baker. In addition, we added a 10th athlete, Alex Gazan. Here we are back at the CrossFit Games defending your title. So was there any pressure coming in because of the defending the title that you didn't have last year, being kind of a relative unknown?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I knew I had, the target on my back.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Exciting. I'm excited to be here as a coach for the first time.
And this year, there's a little more pressure, a little more like expectations, and so I don't know. It's completely different. It feels great.
How do you, as a coach, keep those expectations at an appropriate place?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I think it's all warranted. I think that, I don't think expectations are a bad thing.
Well, thanks to everybody for being here. Welcome to Madison. Welcome to the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games.
We're driving cars on a Mars tonight. We're passing off to the stars tonight. We wanna go, go. We wanna go, go.
They've got to get off the bike, carry the bike, pick it up over obstacles, run with it. So yeah, it's a long event, grindy. It's a gut check.
Never fall back. We will stay right where we at. We never fall back. Yeah. We never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We never fall back. We never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We never fall back. Come up with a game plan. Double XL up in the pen, you can't shake that. All the way gassed up, full tank, man. Moving too quick, keep the cameras in the playback. Dang, so tell me how you feel with it. You put a lid on it, I ain't got no chill with it. This right here your problem, you gon' have to deal with it. Lay it on the line, high risk, that's the meal ticket. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. Hold on ground where we at. Never fall back. No lies, no facts. We gon' stay right where we at. We ain't never fall back. Yeah. We ain't never fall back. And you can find me where.
So Olympic total, we had 3 minutes per lift. So I knew I was able to get 3, maybe 4 lifts in.
And that's it.
Oh my God. Whew. It's so good.
So, yeah, I am super stoked. It's been a lot of work, and working really hard on it. And we are just about complete, going right up to that 11th hour. But I'm hoping to release it on Monday.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out whether I want to do it in the afternoon or the evening. I'm thinking the evening, so we can kind of hang out and be on while, like, in the chat while it's going. So thoughts?
Lucas has a tennis match, so hopefully if you do it like after 7 p.m.
Well, yeah, that around 7 would be probably pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. But you've seen it all.
I know, but I will want to get in the, yeah, I'll still want to be on the chat.
Yeah, you have seen all the pre-edited versions. You and Holly have been awesome. I've sent all of the pieces off to you. You guys edit them. You give me your feedback. I make the changes, and then I put it in a folder that this is the finished piece. And then this weekend it'll be assembling it all into one long film. And it's still only episode 1. There are probably going to be 4 total episodes when this is done. And Jess is in the comments. Her pictures got used a lot throughout this. So, and I appreciate, she saved me on some of this. The pictures just came out so good that it made it really cool. So, yeah, I'm super excited, super stoked. It's going to have a different feel than the other stuff that's out there because we only followed 4 athletes.
Right.
And it's just going to focus on those 4 athletes for the entire games. There is some opening ceremonies where we did a little bit of everybody. The opening press conference, we picked the 2 major themes from that. There's one major story in episode 1 that I didn't even show in the trailer. That is Emily's comeback from medical withdrawal to the games. And it is so freaking good. Maybe my favorite part of episode 1. And so, Kenneth says we need a giant all-in-one after the episodes come out called the Clydesdale Cut. Yeah, that may be 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Because I'm betting this is around an hour.
Yeah.
It's hard because I've been working on it in pieces. So I don't even really know what the total is at this point. But I'm guessing around an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So super stoked for that. But on to other CrossFit news. There is something I wanted to bring up. Sure. And that is that Helen Taylor, who is on our show, is in need of some equipment. And she made a post today on Instagram. I'm going to share it if I can find her really quick. For City, there we go. Yep, I think this is it. She tagged me in it. So here we go. Helen Taylor. I believe it is this one. Yep. So it's the class doing a 6-minute AMRAP DT remix, but she is saying, does anyone know of any contacts at Rogue that I can reach out to or know of any gyms that are closing and looking to get rid of equipment? We are growing a lot, and I'm in need of the following equipment: 5 15-pound training barbells, 2 sets of large training plates, the 5-pound, each one's red, 2 10-pound wall balls, 1 8-pound wall ball, 1 6-pound wall ball. She's saying she's a 501c3 and can give a tax receipt for any equipment donations. So if you know anybody, know any gyms that are closing, anything like that, if you don't remember, we had Helen on a while back, one of our first episodes of Thursday Night CrossFit Talk, and it is in Detroit, inner city. She's helping these kids have a place to come and work out and develop a community. And as you can see in the picture, she's got a lot of kids coming.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, there are equipment needs. So if anybody knows of anybody, any way you can donate, anything like that, please reach out to Helen Taylor at City CrossFit Kids in Detroit. She is a wonderful lady, and hopefully we can get her some help to get some equipment.
Sounds like a Dear Bill and Katie to me.
Yeah. It's actually, the list is not even that long.
It's not at all. That is totally doable. Amazon wish list would probably be a huge start.
Yeah. She just does amazing things for these kids. They do a backpack drive that it got so big that she not only got backpacks for her own kids, but for the entire school.
Yeah.
Where the kids go. She just does amazing things. And this is endorsed by the police. The police come and work out with the kids. It's just an amazing program. And rumor is they have a documentary going on that's going to show what they're doing up there. So it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it looks like Chandler and Jesse are somehow participating.
So they had kids qualify for the Pit Fitness Ranch Teen Throwdown. Yeah. And Jesse and Chandler were there, met some of the kids, and now they're supporting them just with words of encouragement, things like that. And they're trying to get some of the kids to go to the CrossFit Games next year. So, yeah, and I know it doesn't have to be Rogue. There's a ton of equipment companies out there, and I think she would take whatever they could get. Being in Columbus, I'm just forced to at least endorse Rogue a little bit. But what's weird is it's like this is about the time they do the garage sale, like in the fall.
Yeah.
So if we could catch the right wave, maybe there is something that could be done. And I mean, she's asking for 4 wall balls.
I know.
Like, it's not a lot. 2 sets of the training plates and 5 bars. And they're the training bars, not even like real Ohio bars or Olympic lifting bars. So, yeah, let's see what we can do here.
Yeah, I just love watching her content. It's super inspiring.
It is. It's a great program, and I'm so glad they were on. We need to have her on again because so much has even happened since we had her on, and it hasn't even been that long ago. So, next thing on the agenda is Tia got her invite to Rogue. We talked about this a little bit last week, where we kind of went through who all had been given the invites. We were down to 5, I think. The 5th place position. All those filled as we thought they would. And then the very last invite went to Tia. What I'm having a hard time with is if 6 women from the queue, and the only person I know that didn't get an invite or didn't accept the invite was Emma Tall. That how does that only 20?
No, I think there's one other person who's not coming. One other girl from the games. No.
Oh, Katherine. Katherine. Yeah. They removed her invite.
Right. Did we figure that out?
We have not. Yeah, and Carolyn got it too. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Katherine went up and then it got pulled down. And we talked about that last week as well.
Yeah, do we think she's injured?
I don't know. I have not heard a thing.
It's interesting.
That says that I always forget Katherine. But if you've been following along, Lex, I've become a Katherine fan. Never thought in my wildest dreams I would say that. But after this year's games, she just seemed different to me. And then I watched the HWPO documentary with her and Matt, and I was like, shed a tear. So, and I actually said after semifinals, I thought it was the best I'd seen her look in a long time.
Agreed.
And she didn't disappoint at the games either.
Yep. I know, Ronica. She's your favorite.
So I still have other people that are more favorite of mine, but yeah.
I was thinking pregnant too, Carolyn. That was honestly the first thing. That was honestly the first thing that came to my mind. I didn't want to put it out there in the universe.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to start rumors.
Yeah.
But she's been with Brooks like what, 2-3 years now?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's over 2.
Yeah. Corey said, injured from getting pregnant. And then Carolyn goes, I'm spreading rumors.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So thoughts about Tia going to Rogue?
I think it's great. People are hungry to see her. So I would assume she wouldn't come back if she wasn't feeling ready. And we've seen her working out. She's moving weight just fine. She looks incredibly fit still. She's already got her 8-pack back. Like, I think she's fine.
Everybody can look good on Instagram.
That's true. We'll see. I mean, her at 70-80% is still going to be phenomenal. Will she win? Who knows? I don't think it really matters. But I've heard a lot of people say, is she the type of person that would come if she wasn't going to win? And that's a good question. I mean, she's probably fairly confident about her shot if she's coming.
So I'll hold my comment for Carolyn's. I love it. There's literally no pressure for her. If she doesn't do that well, everyone knows she's not 100%. If she does do well, watch out.
Absolutely.
Corey says she hasn't lost an in-person competition since 2017.
Yeah.
But neither is Matt Frazier, and that he'll hold that phrase if he never does Rogue again.
Yeah.
So you said everybody's hungry to see her. I'm not. And it has nothing to do like as a disrespect to her or what she's accomplished. Like I'm ready to turn the page and move on to the new era.
Well, I don't think she's going anywhere, so.
Well, maybe not, but there was the speculation that she retired right before she got pregnant and then rescinded the retirement in the moment, right? Like, so there was thoughts that it was over. And I think she's the greatest CrossFitter to ever live, male or female. She has done amazing things. I just found the games way more exciting this year with different names, different people wearing the leaders' jerseys. So selfishly, I enjoyed it way more this year than I have in years past. And so I'm tired of the domination from start to finish. I loved that it was a battle, at least for a few days at the games. I just want that.
I agree. And maybe she will only come back for one more year to get the 7th title and then be done. I don't know. What exactly is her and Shane's plan? I mean, our next topic is talking about Brooke leaving, and that's what I can't quite figure out. Are they all in here in Nash? Are they going to live in Nashville and run Proven, or are they moving home and trying to be more family oriented at home? I mean, she built that huge garage gym at home, presumably to be back with family and be there full time.
So let's be brutally honest about this, right? Shane and Tia were never all in on Proven the camp. Right.
You think?
You don't give
I don't know.
somebody else, the CEO of your company. Well, I mean, Matt did that too, but from everything I've heard inside that camp, Shane was about Tia, and all the other athletes were going to be coached by somebody else.
Yes.
Right. And when Tia retired, so was Shane. And they would lend that name and that theology, for lack of better term, methodology, to the CEO, Nick, and Dwight, and all of those people to keep it kind of running. I don't think they expected to hit the stone wall they hit this season and lose the majority, if not all, of their athletes. I spoke to a former Proven athlete at the games who told me that when they went to Nashville, they still live in Nashville. When they went to East Nashville to work out, that it was a complete shit show.
Like no space for them to, like what?
Didn't elaborate a whole bunch, but basically would never go back into that camp. Then, so I heard that at the games. Then as we get a month removed from the games, we hear from Saxon that he is leaving. And the reason he is leaving is he believes he has been overtrained. And I've known Saxon a long time, and he is very much proud that he has done his own programming for a very long time. And he just gave it up, and now he's getting hurt. And so it makes sense that he believes that is the programming. Is it coincidental that him and Brooke have the same freaking injury in the same season at the same event? And now Brooke leaves and goes to HWPO.
Do we know who was writing the programming? Was it someone taking the programming that Shane was giving Tia and programming that, or was Shane giving out the programming, or was it someone else's programming entirely? I mean, because Tia's remained relatively uninjured, and I think she probably is one of the ones that overtrains.
Right. And people like Rich admitted overtraining. People like Matt probably overtrained in a span, but knew that his body needed a rest.
Yeah.
And you can't, just because Tia doesn't get hurt, she is a freak. She is the greatest CrossFitter to ever live. You can't think that everybody can hold up to that standard. So I'm probably still really good friends with Nick, who is the CEO of Proven.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He used to be on the show all the time. At one point, there was a very clear delineation as to, like, he would do the remote athletes programming. Dwight would do this section. Shane would do that section. But I think as they went on, that clear delineation became more blurred.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think it came down to more like consistency across all avenues of proven and trying to make it all the same, similar across all avenues. But I'm not intimately in those discussions. And so I really should just get Nick back on. I know he's going on Coffee Pods and Mods, or did today, and I haven't seen that episode yet.
I have not seen it.
So, but I should reach out to Nick and have him on. You talked to Shane at the games. What did he have to say there?
I don't know. Just talked about being a dad. It was a nice interview. But Lex says, "Do you think Brooke was jealous of Sydney because Sydney seems to be staying?"
Well, I don't know, but Sydney actually has a real job. And so she can't leave Nashville if she has a real job, right?
What's her real job?
I can't remember. We did her first ever podcast, Sydney Wells.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure on it she said, but she does work a full-time job, and she would have to work out either in the morning before work and after work, or just one or one of those. So,
well, unless she gets sponsors like Brooke.
I don't think Sydney's at that level.
She's the one who made it to the games this year.
Making it to the games and being a perennial games athlete who's in the top 5 frequently, that's two way different things when a sponsor's looking.
I find it very strange that they're splitting up.
Do we know that for a fact? Because I heard rumors that Sydney was going to HWPO too.
Oh, I have no clue.
So
Brooke is staying in Nashville, though. She's not moving to HWPO. It'll be remote.
We don't even know if Brooke's moving to Vermont, do we?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is Brooke going to be a remote athlete?
I think it's all speculation.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So, but when we interviewed Sydney, her and Brooke were living together. Like they're super tight. So, well,
I don't know.
Sydney okay, hold on. Sydney was just in Proven Vlog like yesterday. Okay. So we got inside source. And then, but is Sydney on the rise, and do people see Brooke as on the downside? Who knows what sponsors are looking at? It's hard for me to say that Sydney's on the rise until I can see that she can complete a muscle up workout.
I agree.
She got lucky at semifinals that did not hurt her. Like,
yeah.
If that gets weighted more, or there's not as much running, she's not going to the games. And I like Sydney. I've talked to her more than I've ever talked to Brooke. And, and I was rooting for her at Granite Games 2 years ago when the muscle ups came and it all went to crap. I was at the West Coast Classic when it all went to crap the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's hard for me to say she's on the rise just because she made the games one year. There's a lot of one-time games athletes. There are very few multiple year games athletes. Carolyn says Baker tagged Sydney the other day in a story from a proven workout. Is Baker doing proven now? I can't keep up with everyone switching. Are you saying Kelly Baker? If she's doing proven, it is news to me.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the last story that Tristan shared. I think recently he just shared her doing muscle ups on the tall straps. So I would be shocked. But there's a whole lot of camp hopping.
I know Kelly's been sick. And she hasn't been working out much at all. So I don't know. Good news. Jody Lynn is not switching camps.
That's good.
Carolyn says weighted ring muscle ups, not the same as muscle ups. We rarely see that ruck ring muscle ups. It was such an awkward movement. And the backpack versus vest, it favored certain style. Okay. Fair. I've just seen the blow up too many times. Let me see her. Hopefully there's a workout this season that we'll see her doing regular ring muscle ups and she'll do well. And then
how did she do in the ring muscle up workout with the sandbag over the log at the games?
I don't know. Was she still alive then?
Oh no, she was already out. Yeah. So that sucks. That's another reason not to eliminate these people. Like, we need to see them do all the tests. I don't like it.
Now people are trying to push my buttons. And some would say Laura was lucky there were no handstand push-ups.
Totally agree, Corey.
Handstand push-ups would not have taken her out. Only
deficit strict. There was not enough handstand push-up volume.
Got to throw some BS about some say Jeff was lucky there was no Ricky Mack to rile up Scott. Jeff Adler is way more well-rounded than Ricky Mack. And he doesn't have a bum shoulder. Corey's not switching camps either. And that's that.
All right.
I'm super stoked to see Saxon back with Facundo. I think that while he did say and admitted that means he's part of Mayhem now, I think he's going to be remote, and I think Mayhem isn't really a training camp. It's just
it is for the 7 or 8 that are there. It definitely is.
Okay. And then because when I was judging Saxon for Rogue in 2020, he was with Facundo then. I loved seeing that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be good for Sax for that. And so I'm super stoked for him. I think that's going to help him get back to the way he was.
I agree. Well, yeah, Mayhem is an app and they do have a giant, like, worldwide following. But to Bailey and Paige and Tyler, it's a camp for those athletes that are there.
I think it's a series of camps. I think you have this camp over here, you have this camp here, you have this camp over here, and they're all in Cookeville. But it's just like anything with a lot of people. You hang out with your friends.
Fair enough.
I was going to say clicky, but I didn't want it to have that.
Yeah.
I was just saying, you hang out with your friends.
Yeah. Yep.
I think the Mayhem people would tell you they pair each other up with the people that make them the most successful. And that's the positive connotation of what's happening there.
Yeah.
So then I wanted to talk about MFC.
Oh boy. So much more.
Yeah. We may not get to everything. So MFC, we're a week away from check-in.
Mhm.
A week from tonight, you're gonna be checking in as an athlete. Corey's gonna be checking in as an athlete. Many of our other friends are gonna be doing that as well. I'm excited to say that when I go to film everyone, I have recruited someone to help me do interviews, and her name is Lana Marcine, and she is 74 years old and a badass CrossFitter.
Mm-hmm.
And she has competed at MFC, but in her words, they scale it too much for her because she can do all the tough stuff, and so she wants to go to tougher competitions. But
she should have entered this year.
She wanted to be there and support her friends, and asked if I needed help, and I said I would be honored and happy to do that. And so she's going to help us get interviews and stuff like that. And she did that at the games anyway for the 60 plus. So she's going to do that here for us and give a different voice and a different perspective to the documentary. And I'm super stoked to see what comes of that. You told me this week, because they're still not public, so I can't see anything about these workouts, that there were changes made from last week when we went over them.
Mm-hmm.
Anything significant that you want to as I can see the steam coming out of your headset, anything you want to share?
So they made triple fat heavier. The 50, 40, 30, 40, 30, 20, 30, 20, 10 squat gymnastics one. They made that heavier. They added double kettlebell overhead walking lunge for the finale with the Echo Bike ring muscle up. So it's now 2 44-pound kettlebells overhead. And what was the other change? I don't remember. There was something else they changed. They've actually backed off some of the older divisions. They brought some things down. For instance, Jim has to deadlift 135 pounds, and I have to deadlift 265 pounds. Lex, I'm literally shocked with the ring muscle up change. I already thought it was a little bit daunting, and then to make it double, and then I was like, oh, double kettlebell, okay, whatever. And I tested it with 235s, assuming that was what it would be, and that was hard enough. And now I go back in the document and see that it's 244s. I just don't even have words. I listened to the Hinshaw podcast. They had MFC had Hinshaw on, and they get to a workout and he's like, this is just devastating. This is extremely heavy. And I'm like, yep, just say it. It's overprogrammed. Like every workout he gets to, he's like, yeah, this is tough. This is going to be a real gut check. Like, I'm just like, I don't even think there's a lot of people who have reached out to me from last week's episode and thanked me for talking about the workouts and even bringing up that it seems overprogrammed, and nobody can get answers. There's not really a venue, there's not really a place for us to group up and I commented on Instagram, and I feel like I'm the only one who's really speaking up. So I don't know, but I've been told, and some people have messaged me directly and said that they have reached out and they're getting not great feedback. from MFC, I don't know. It's almost like they took the feedback from RX, who already was like, this is too much, and they just made elite harder so that RX can't complain as much. But that's not what anyone asked. RX was already like, this is too much. Back them down and don't mess with elite. I don't know.
Okay. So there's a lot of comments. So Corey says, we're asking the same question. Who tested these, Tia?
Yeah, is about the only possibility.
Lex
or Laura.
Says, send it to Chase and Bill so they can analyze the programming. They do realize this is for masters.
I'm not sure they do.
Corey said he already sent them to Chase last week. And then they're asking who programs. Carolyn's asking that. Last time it's CJ did the programming in all the years past. CJ Martin from Invent. Is he doing it this year?
I don't know.
So I'm gonna go down a road here. All the speculation is that we are spinning off masters into their own CrossFit Games. There are two major masters competitions outside of the games, and they are MFC and Legends. If you as an organization are putting out a series of workouts, and then you're given feedback, good, bad, indifferent, and you're making changes a week out from the games from the athletes, either one, you're being too influenced by the athletes, or two, you didn't do enough testing on your own to figure out that these were appropriate. Either way, that looks completely unprofessional. And if we're going down this route of letting somebody else take over the games, Lord help us if they do this with the programming for that.
Yeah, so in a way, and the one thing that I will say, like Hinshaw said when in this interview was, and I don't know if this is the whole point and this is why he said it, but he was like, if I think they're trying to make a point with this programming of the type of athlete that needs to show up to this event. And maybe they're trying to say, this is like games programming and you better be a games level athlete coming to this event. But that you can't do that this year without all of your qualifier workouts needed to have an aspect of these to ensure that the people that are coming can do this. From what I've been hearing from like 20 down on the leaderboard they asked if they could swap down to RX because they can't do the movements. They saw the workouts and they're like, we can't do these. So you've got several people in Elite already saying they can't do these workouts. If you're going to be games level programming, then you have to have games caliber athletes there, and that's 10 people in the world. That's all we've got given the shot to even have an idea of what people can do.
So Corey points out that your deadlifts are 265 and his are 275. There's something wrong there. So can you and I just have a private conversation here on the air?
Yep.
Okay. You're saying that they're programming because that's the type of athlete they want to show up at this event.
Yes, I think that's what they're trying to say with this programming.
Last time I looked at the leaderboard for the qualifiers, there were like 5 names in all divisions
that you even knew
could have handled any of these workouts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can wish in one hand and you can shit in the other and see which one are going to get you there. But if that's why you're programming, you're delusional.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I mean, I don't know, and I can be taking that.
Right. Regardless, though, you are programming this like, I would even say a notch above what the games programs.
It's more difficult than semis programming for individuals.
Okay. So last year we saw the likes of Anna Tunnicliffe, and we saw Jen Ryan, and we saw some games level athletes. They've decided not to come.
Anna's coming.
Is she competing?
Mm-hmm. And her mother's competing.
Right. I knew her mother was. I didn't know if she was.
She is.
Okay. So, but regardless, right? Like, Brian Wong was there. Didn't see him on the list. And again, there's no list to even know who's coming. All we see is the qualifiers leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who got invites. We don't know. Like, it seems like there's this sense that we are this when the reality is we are here.
Mm-hmm.
With the athletes you have.
Yeah.
And you can wish to get this, but if they ain't there, all you're going to do is wreck these people.
That's what I've heard is people uncertain about even still competing because they're worried about pushing too hard to do some of these that are unnecessary. It is overprogrammed and hurting themselves. And that's from very, very good athletes that have commented that they're just like, I don't really know if this is worth it. They did a qualifier. They know the type of athlete they have. I don't think you have. I was one of very few people last year that finished the legless rope climb workout. And that was like a longer time domain where I was able to sit and rest. This isn't a short interval where you like basically immediately have to go back up and do your second rope climb. You're going to have people failing that second legless rope climb. And if the tiebreakers aren't like very carefully thought out, this whole thing is there are going to be people just standing out there looking like fools. And on one hand, I kind of want them to look like, I want the comp to look like a fool, but I don't. Like, I want people to go out there and compete, but it's honestly just a strength test at this point. You're going to get somebody who's just strong enough to like complete one more rep than somebody, and it's not really going to be a fitness test anymore.
Yeah. Well, it is well known that I did not like the way it was run last year. Last year, and I hate to keep bringing this up because every time I mend fences, I push it over again. And last year they had one medical personnel because volunteers were not a priority.
Right.
Everybody took when I said that as just judging, but they had like 5 people setting the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 people. There are local comps that have way more than that. One medical personnel. One.
Yeah.
And if you're doing these heavy lifts and these types of rope climbs, you might want to make sure you got some people there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how this shakes out. If they get enough, they posted something tonight or earlier today about a twist for the elites for the final event. Who knows? Something coming after. I have no idea.
They have obtained 10 coyotes. At the 30-second mark, they'll be released down the lane. No, I don't know.
Who knows? It can't get much. Three kettlebells overhead. Yeah, there you go. That's not the. Yeah, that would be the finale workout. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they got enough feedback that the twist is they're going back to a single. I don't know, but they sure haven't. They sure haven't given any inclination that they're listening or willing to budge on these elite workouts. The fact that they made triple threat heavier is crazy. I'm going to test it tomorrow and see if I can even get like halfway through it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So I did want to talk. I think I'm just going to skip that. Maybe we'll come back to it. Okay. So I got DM'd by Miss Carolyn Prevost, and I wanted to get feedback on this. So she has a show idea for our channel and thought it would be good accountability for me. But I want to spread it out to my whole Clydesdale Media crew that any of us could do these shows. Any member of the team. And what it is that like once or twice a week, I go live with one of my workouts in the garage where I come on, I talk about the workout beforehand. I do the workout and then I come back on, and while I'm doing the workout, the chat can talk and make fun of me or do whatever they want to do for my workout, and then come on after and talk about the workout and how it felt and did I meet the stimulus, things like that. Would anybody be interested in watching that?
I do think it'd be a really good accountability for you.
Sure, accountability. But would anybody watch it?
It depends on when you go on. I'd be curious how you felt about the workout and how long it is. Are you going to always do like an 8-minute workout?
I would have to pick it. Like, I'm not going to do a 40-minute chipper.
Right.
Right. Like that would not work for YouTube, but I could do like shorter workouts or interval workouts where like I have some rest and I can come on in between the intervals. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd say 12 minutes tops.
Yeah. Because I know like Polaris does a ton of interval stuff. Where there's built-in rest, and I could, because I bought a headset just like yours, and I could like throw the headset on real quick, talk about or breathe into the mic for a minute, and then go back to my next interval, stuff like that. AMRAPs would work.
Yeah.
You know, some I could maybe even do with the headset on while I'm,
mic'd up CrossFitter. Let's go.
So gosh, regretfully, there's a lot of people that said that they'd like it.
I know.
So, all right. So I got to get my garage cleaned up because right now I just have a little space where I've been working out. I'm going to have to get some stuff moved so I can get some equipment out there to do like a video camera set up, hooked to my laptop, all of that. And we'll start that in a couple weeks, probably after I get back from MFC. But we'll do it. And any of us can do it. Like Jamie can jump on and do one, Kat, Amy, Charlie. And then the rest of us can commentate what's going on.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Through the chat. But okay, I just wanted to throw it out there. Carolyn is here, and it was her idea. Judy.
Yeah, Judy.
Carolyn says, I think it would be cool to see your journey to weight loss and show you putting in the work. I don't know, just a thought to keep you motivated, maybe once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have to be the right workout. It couldn't be something super long.
Right.
Carolyn says, maybe we have a weekly Clydesdale workout that we all do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you could post it on Instagram and hashtag and do all that stuff. And we're kind of sharing it.
Yeah, I would like that. Like Thursday afternoon workout.
Or even like I do it one day and then you guys do it when it's most convenient for you throughout the week, and just hashtag it onto Scott does Murph mic'd up. Nobody wants it. I'm not sure there's a headset with the right battery length. But that's the big goal. If you didn't watch my weight loss show, it is going to be to do Murph without scaling the pull-ups or anything.
All right.
Maybe not a vest, but because I have a permanent one. Yep. And that's what Carolyn said. Exactly. It's our Clydesdale workout. You do the one day you choose, and we fit it in our schedule and tag Clydesdale when we do it, invite others to do it. Yeah, it could be fun. Build our own little community to do it. I understand if you elite athletes can't fit it into your programming as you get closer to your stuff, but like Jamie, she could share one workout that she does a week in her programming and do that as well. Because when I go to Rogue, she's going to have to run the show. So she's going to get this software down, and then she'll be able to do that as well.
Yeah,
so
we need to.
The Murph I'm shooting for, first of all, I'm never home on Memorial Day. There's the semifinals are always going on, and I'm usually traveling on Memorial Day. So we're looking at between Memorial Day and the start of the games, picking a day in there for me to do it. That's for my goal. So just to let you know, that's what we're shooting for.
You just got to man up and do it. I red-eyed home and did Murph.
Yeah, but you're an elite athlete.
It was awful.
Exactly. This body needs optimal. If I'm doing Murph. So. All right. So there's that. The last thing, I think we're up on the hour and a half. I just want to talk about James Sprague is doing a competition called Reps Ahead. And I find it's an interesting concept. Although I like Fit Wars better. However, the way it works is that you go head to head, mano a mano, with a competitor, and the match ends when one of the two of you get X number of reps ahead, whatever is determined before you go. And I don't even know where it's airing. It's called Reps Ahead, but it must be airing somewhere. What are your thoughts of these one-offs, doing these types of competitions to get more exposure for the athletes, and stuff like that?
I mean, I think it's great if it's going to be something that, like, I feel like Fit Wars is going to try to do something consistently and like make a name, and people will want to come on and do it. Like, is this literally a one-time thing he's doing and that's it? Or is
he's on it one time. He's doing one match, but I think there are multiple matches going on.
Okay. I mean, I think it's a great idea. It's kind of cool. It'd be like a track race that, and once you lap the person, they get out, right? Like, it could take forever.
It could. That I have it in my notes. Like, could be devastatingly long.
I mean, someone's gonna give because they're just over it. Even if they're like, if they're only 2 behind and they're just like, I just can't do this anymore. You just sort of give up. But yeah, that could be. I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. I think anything that is going to give exposure to more athletes. I mean, you're talking 2 people at a time for both of these things. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to have 2 of them.
Beck said he thinks James Hobart did that recently.
Oh.
I'm going to research this this week once I get the documentary done. Corey said he'll do Fit Wars with Jamie, but according to MFC, she has to use only 10 pounds less than him on the barbell.
No. We'll see with the right workout, maybe.
So I think the event organizer said that they call it like CrossFit meets mixed martial arts or UFC.
Oh.
Because I think, to your point, there gets to be a point where the one competitor just taps out.
Yeah.
Like, they just can't keep up. So, okay, tap out, go ahead, get the reps ahead of me. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an interesting concept. I still love my idea of challenges going one-on-one and having belts that a person can hold throughout the year. Like, I'm the Fran champ, or I'm the whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the push-up champ. I'm the ring muscle-up champ, whatever it is.
I sound like a pilot. I saw Jody said I sounded off too. What?
So every once in a while you glitch and your mic glitches with it, but overall it's way better than what we had before.
Okay. Hi, Bruce. We've missed you.
Yeah, other people were pushing my buttons for you.
That's true.
Oh, I don't want to go down that road.
I can't.
I can't either. Well, with that, next week we're going to try to do a show live from Fort Wayne on Thursday night. So
yeah,
that's the goal. We will keep you updated on that. It's really up to, just got to figure out my plans with my wife and her getting back and when I can head up there, whether I'm going alone, whether I'm going with her, or more likely she's coming with me. We just have to figure that out. And dog sitter if we're doing that.
And you're Jim's coach.
I am, which is awesome because I'll be able to get back in there to interview you guys after events much easier without being out on the floor, trying to do it in that noise.
Yep.
Indiana, is that the Midwest? It is considered the Midwest, but this is up like almost to Michigan.
Yeah.
It's really in that, like, it's really Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, the tri-state area. Is that what we call it?
Yeah, it is the
tri-state area. Corey says I can be his coach too.
Corey, do you have a coach?
Maybe
I'll have to message you. Yeah, we'll either get Lena or we have one other person coming that we need a ticket for. So I'll message you, Corey.
So, yeah, cool. Although everybody loves Lana, they'll let her go wherever she wants to go.
Probably. Do we know if Jeremy's coming or not?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Corey, you may have more news on that. I think he's fighting a little bit of an injury and is unsure if he's going to come. And maybe he also seeing the workouts is maybe like, ain't worth it. Not looking good, Corey said. Yeah, that sucks. I was hoping to meet him.
Me too. And he was on the show the week you were out.
Oh, did he come on
He did.
the week? Awesome.
He hung out with Jess and I.
Awesome.
So yeah, I was super stoked to meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll reach out. Yeah, that's the general theme that I'm getting from people that have messaged me. Bring the comments, folks, so I can pass it along.
Yeah, well, I'm super stoked. I love it up there in Fort Wayne. I love the Masters community. As much as I have ripped on the event at times, I love hanging out with that community. It's so much fun. And Dan Church has been messaging me, and of course, all you guys. Corey's been texting me, and like I just can't wait to go and give you guys a little day in the sun on a documentary to see how things are going, and I'm super stoked for that.
Yeah.
So, with that, do we have a new ending? We might. We'll see everybody next time on the Thursday Night CrossFit Talk.
We about to change the game. We out here taking names.